have fallen or been disabled in action. And this summer, they actually expanded their program to all first responder families. So many of us who've been touched by having military families or first responders, they're going to continue to provide scholarships for the family members of those who are hurt or killed in action. How it relates to college golf is they own a golf course in Grand Haven, American Dunes, which if you haven't been, is an incredible testament to the military and the sacrifices these families have made. It's kind of a living memorial, the golf course is. They call it the Church of Golf. And so we came up with this vision to create the elite college golf event. To be an elite program, it's kind of a responsibility to host an elite college event. And so this will be year 2. Teams coming from coast to coast. It's one of the best fields in college golf. Not to mention we have 2 HBCUs represented. 44% of all Folds recipients are minorities, so that's very important to us. We have a Division II school represented. Happens to be Grand Valley State, which is fantastic, and then some of the best teams in the country. Army, Navy, and Air Force also bring their entire squad. So it's a really special, unique opportunity to bring the best of, I think, America and college golf together. Mr. Jack Nicklaus will come in Sunday. He'll spend the day with the teams, the corporate sponsors, all the coaches, and hopefully any media members who want to come over and see Mr. Nicklaus. That's how much he believes in this event, and we'll get started on Labor Day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So with that, if you have any questions about it, I'm certainly here to answer. But it's going to be a special week with a Friday night football game, and then roll right into the Folds of Honor Collegiate on Monday.
Casey, I'm just about the aspect of Jack being involved in too. The guys that play for you, now obviously he's such an iconic name in golf.
Sure.
What does he mean to guys that play for you that never really saw him play? They just hear stories about him or whatever. But it's a big deal, right? But
it's a big deal.
What is it for those guys that are like?
It's a monster deal. So how I describe it, they all grew up and lived in the Tiger era, and they watched what I call the best golf that was ever played. So when they watched the best golf that was ever played, and he still doesn't have the records Nicklaus has, that's how they make a connection. Wow, this guy might be better than Tiger, because every one of our players, Tiger is the inspiration, right? So just little things. They never call him Jack. It's Mr. Nicklaus, right? And they know the greatest player to ever play the game over an extended period of time is going to be there to support college golf. A monster deal for them. It's something they'll remember the rest of their lives.
You said this was your idea originally, this event and this tournament. How did that? Can you take me through the initial conversations and origins? And I mean, you touched on the idea, but sort of how it all unfolded and came to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So the golf course had been open about a year, and I hadn't been there. And when you get to the golf course, ordinarily you carry your clubs up to the clubhouse. Well, there they take your clubs right away, and you walk through this living memorial with all the folks that they honor there. And I just kept thinking, college athletics, as you guys know, is growing very quickly. It's about a lot of things. Some of those are good things. Some of them maybe are about money and other things like that. What can we do to broaden our reach as a college golf community? Folds of Honor is our College Golf Association's national scholarship. That's who we support, all college golf coaches. So I made a phone call to a guy in Oklahoma and said, I'd like to get in touch with Mr. Rooney, Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney. I just want to run a little college event. I want to host some regional teams. I want to raise some money. I want to give the proceeds of this event back to the Folds of Honor, just as my own mission. And if you've ever met or heard Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rooney, it went from a very minor thing to the biggest thing in college golf, because that's how he thinks. So James Pye won the U.S. Amateur on Sunday. I flew to Tulsa on Wednesday that week to meet with Colonel Rooney, and we had this grand scheme. And now with Golf Channel, the number of television viewers watching college golf has exploded. So we feel like we can really broaden our reach by having live television and do more than just provide the athletes with a great experience.
Hey, Coach, sounds like a great event. As adults, we can recognize the importance of patriotism and, of course, diversity. You have the HBCUs. How is this impacting this next generation that's probably experiencing some of this on a great level for the first time right now?
Yeah, I think, I don't think it's a secret that athletics in general, I have 2 little girls who play soccer. I mean, athletics becomes their whole life, right? And that's their internal focus. It's where they drive their net worth, their self-worth. When we ask a player, How you doing today? Not good, I shot 77, or great, I shot 67. Well, that wasn't the answer to the question. The answer is, how you doing? Can we think about something other than athletics? And part of my mission is, this is a human development job. Yeah, we want to win Big Ten championships. We want to compete at the highest level. But really what we're doing is taking young people from childhood to adulthood and giving them experiences that are bigger than a very frustrating sport, as those of you who play know it is super important to me. So I hope from a human standpoint, they think about others around them and how they can make their world a little better.
Casey, when you think about your program, and I guess say the momentum around it or things that are happening, you had a U.S. amateur champion. You're describing this as this massive college tournament now for a team in Michigan, which some people might wonder, how do you make all that happen? I mean, just talk about where your program is now. Is this what you envision, being able to have events like this, players like this, be a team that's now competing, not just in the Big Ten, but in the NCAA tournament, and just about what this all means for your program?
Well, thank
what it
you.
says about it.
I appreciate that. To be honest, it's probably bigger than I dreamed. When I was 22 and I set out to get this job, and I was lucky enough to get it by the time I was 29, I just wanted to win. Right? I just want to win Big Ten titles. Want to have young people in your life and live your life with them and help them develop. Relationships have been the key to this program. Most of you have been to our facilities. They're some of the best facilities in America. The experiences the athletes have now are so far and above what I had 20 years ago. And that all goes back, this college golf tournament. Everything we've done is because the administration here has allowed me to use this platform to go out and develop relationships, whether it's through fundraising, growing the game, finding new ways to brand Michigan State. And I think back to the aircraft carrier game. And those of you might read this summer, we were on that aircraft carrier, the first one, Carl Vinson. Using Michigan State as a platform through relationships is something I couldn't have envisioned being this big, and I think we're just getting started. I really do. And having 2 national amateur champions who help your brand a little bit, that's pretty fun. I can tell you, as a guy who's 20 years out of it, I'm having trouble beating them anymore, so they're getting better, and we're having fun doing it.
Casey, you mentioned that you initially started this for your father because of his, he's a Vietnam veteran. Forgive me for this. Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was his response when you maybe started to have this thought, this idea, and you shared it with him?
Yeah, it was emotional. There's not a day that goes by that he doesn't wear a veteran hat or has a veteran sticker on his truck. It's just something that our veterans don't talk about a lot. And to see kind of a rejuvenation of that pride of their service, and he's certainly gone full circle. When I was growing up, I didn't hear a lot about his service, and now we get to talk about it a lot. And this event, becomes special to him. He just walks around and beams and, talks about it with such pride. He also schedules a fishing trip generally right in the middle of it sometimes. But, we all get inspired by different things, and watching him grow as an older man and wanting to share this experience was impactful on me, and that's why I'm trying to impact others.
Anything else for Casey?
All right. Thank you, everybody.